All right, so now you guys have been with me on this CEO training program for about a year now, a little over a year. Okay, so my question is this. A year ago, I presented to you, why are you going to be a loan officer in this market, in this industry, when you have so many disadvantages? You have so many disadvantages. Why not become your own lender? Now, through this past year, you've seen behind the scenes of what I do on the back end. You've seen the compliance side. You've seen the business plan, and you've seen how we build these systems and these step-by-step protocols and procedures. And you also see how it's a lot of work, right? It's a lot more work than a loan originator. Yeah. But eventually, the plan is so that this business runs itself. Okay, give me some feedback. Is that the right decision? Was that the right decision to make, to not become a loan officer and to become your own mortgage bank, to become your own CEO? Right? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll just start. Starting with myself, like when you presented that concept to me, at that point I couldn't even see it. It wasn't even like something that I had thought about myself. It wasn't a possibility for me because I was just so caught up in how I was doing things. And well, geez, when you presented that to me, I was just at that point. I didn't want to be an alcoholic anymore. I didn't want to drink. I was like going through a lot of stuff. So when you presented it to me, but over time, just being a part of this group, showing up every day, like consistently building trust with a group of other men who wanted to become more, like I see it now, and it's all becoming a reality, and I could actually see all the pieces coming together. So now I'm not only like I'm a believer in it, I'm doing it, I'm experiencing it, and I do see that path. So I'm just a product of this team and where we're headed. And so becoming a lender for me is just duplicating what we're already doing here, wherever I'm going. So that's where I'm at right now with this. But I'm 110% on board, a believer. I see it, and yeah, that's my experience.
Thank you for that.
Go, Shambo. No, I'll go. Man, what a loaded question. For me, I had at the beginning very similar concept to Angelo. I couldn't picture it. In my previous experience, I had floated the idea in passing to my previous employer, dude I worked for before, but it was almost like a grand dream. It was, wouldn't it be nice if I could own the thing from start to finish, so I would be able to remove so many inefficiencies that I was seeing in the market at that time, specifically inefficiencies with ourselves, with the loan process from start to finish. And so, again, that was just I remember when I spoke on that, it felt almost like a dream, like a blurry dream. Like, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to be the owner of a bank, like almost like the Monopoly man. So from that aspect to then you making it real and offering that opportunity to me, something very similar triggered in my head is, no one's ever even offered this in a serious aspect to me before. And it was more so the conviction in your tone and how you presented it to me, the manner in which you presented it to me. It wasn't, again, some far-flung dream like, oh, maybe if you work really hard and hustle for 10 years and bring me a whole bunch of business, maybe it'll happen. It was more so, no, I've sized you up, I want you for this. This is how it's gonna go, if you choose. And I think that's the biggest one for all of us is, you gave us that choice. And the choice came from not saying yes, because yes, it's really easy to say yes, give me a bank. It was the commitment that came behind it. Starting with the 75-day hard challenge, starting with our group calls, and from there, jumping into the CEO training, actually dedicating time and effort into it to be, to extract or, basically make the most out of that opportunity in that situation. And beyond that, for me, why I think that's a better option than being a loan officer, besides the obvious, of course, which is, hey, you run the thing from start to finish, is, again, recognizing where these inefficiencies were in the business before, and namely the inefficiencies in the lack of control and having to trust in multiple people and not really knowing if they're going to work in your best interest and what have you. So to be able to kind of clean all that up, and I guess specifically now speaking on the selling point, to be able to clean that up and go from that that image of a loan officer that I actually spoke to not too long ago, where the image is somebody who promises you the sun, the moon, and the stars at the very beginning, but from a real estate agent's perspective, once the offer gets accepted, once the transaction becomes real, then that person goes into scramble mode. And I'm not saying we personally were that type of loan officer, but we knew plenty who were, right? And it's not what we do, it's the perception of the office or the title as a whole. And so to be able to remove that inefficiency and go direct to the source, so to speak, where I'm in control of everything, or I'll be in control of everything from start to finish, that to me just gives me that sense of peace and calm in mind that I have that control, which is a little egotistical maybe, but more importantly, it allows me to recognize that I can give that guarantee to our partners, not even our partners, to our clients, to the people that we're trying to help. Hey, I, Alex Rodriguez, I, Angelo Mata, I'm telling you, this is what we're going to do for you. This is what we can do, and knowing that we can deliver on it from the moment we say it can be done. That wasn't there before. That's there now, working with you, and I know that'll be there moving forward, and that's why I'm more than anything attached to it, because I recognize how much that will allow me to, or enable me to help so many more people, so many more clients achieve that American dream. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And property.
Awesome.
I like that. Thank
Awesome,
you. Thank
brother.
you.
For me, guys, well, first of all, I want to thank Alex for coming into my life. I mean, we met through Facebook, and he would just time to time would send me DMs in regards to how was my business doing. But for me, this journey has been the last 5 years. I had it personally the last 3 years, and to be exact, it was thought in my head that I'm going to build me my own company. Was already embedded, and I started thinking that way was because I was tired of running around and gathering all these documents and trying to go talk to so and so that wouldn't give me a time of day, and go talk to this realtor also, and I was just getting tired of that. And I started realizing with the years going, I was getting older and older, and I had said to myself one day, I'm like, I'm going to be 50, 60 years old, and I'm going to still be chasing realtors or chasing business, that I need to step up as an LO to be the CEO of a corporation. And 2 years ago, I was just like, that needs to be my pursuit. So then I started, and then I met Alex, and then it started becoming more of a reality. And when this opportunity was given, I was like, you know what? I want to be a CEO. I want to be mentored by you. And I'm just so grateful because I've seen my business and my personal development, and in my business 10x, like Grant Cardone would say, right? 10x. And I'm just glad to be in this opportunity that we are able to help families out, streamline the process, right, with what we're building here, and just making it a great place to build relationships with our partners out there, and also with our company as well. So I'm just grateful for this partnership.
Well, thank you all for that feedback. I mean, it's been an honor, and it's really been inspirational for me to see this process, right? This vision come to life, and it's coming to life through each and every one of you and us as a team, right? And what I've learned throughout this process is, number one, why we're doing it. It's consistent, right? The inefficiencies, all of that speaks to us being the ones that go to the market and make the commitments because we know we're going to come through, right? It's as long as we know that we can come through, we need to make sure that we're the ones in control, right? How many originators are out there making the commitment? They don't have the power to come through. They don't have the resources or even the authority to come through. So why would you go out there and make commitments? But what's the problem with the industry? You can't get any deals unless what? You make commitments. That's just kind of how it's set up. So how can you go out there and get any deals if you're not in a position to make commitments? You have to put yourself in a position to be able to make the commitments. No loan originator should be able to make the commitment unless they have what? They have an underwriter that they employ. But what's the structure of most lenders and brokers? They have underwriters that they have to get permission and get authority and approval from, right? So how is that broker or loan originator gonna go and make a commitment if they're not the ones in control and have the authority to make the commitment? So that's number one, right? Number two, really, what am I? I am a loan originator, right? I'm not some business owner that just sets things up, right? And a new way to set things up and then just do the same thing someone else is doing. That's not what it is. We're not here to sell another multivitamin. We're not here to just repackage the same thing that's being done. We are creating all of this so that we can be able to go out there and deliver what we actually say we're going to deliver. And what does that take as a direct lender? It takes 25 million in volume. It takes roughly 100 transactions, right, for a lending company to be set up to be profitable, right? And then anything above that is where you can actually be profitable. What loan originator can actually invest $2, $3, $4 million into setting up a platform to get to the 100 units to break even so that I can say that I'm going to be able to help my clients the way I really, really mean, right? It's all imaginary if you're not set up that way. It's all imaginary. But now, here's the beauty, right? Here's the beauty. The beauty of working with this team, okay? Home first, we are first, right? So I am first. You are helping me get to being number one. And what does it take to be number one? Well, I found out last year, 125 transactions gets me to number 24, right? Conservatively, 250 transactions, I'll topple number one, right? Number one is 250 transactions. 250 transactions is nothing for a direct lender. You have Loan Depot doing thousands of loans per month, thousands, and you have multiple sized loan depots and lenders doing hundreds and thousands of loans a month, but they're doing it for the profit and the money first. They're not really doing it for the customer first, right? If each and every one of us commits to 125 to 250 customers, that we're going to handle and originate for, and we have the systems in place, I'm all for that. I will do whatever I can, leverage whatever I already have. I've leveraged this entire company with $0 since day one, April of 2014. $0 is all based off of leverage. Why? Because I'm in the lending business. What do I know how to do? I know how to get credit and I know how to get loans. If I don't know how to do that, then I don't know how to help people leverage their credit and getting loans, right? So that's what I'm willing to do. But as long as, what are you going to do with it when you're set up, right? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to make sure that you maintain that same principle and make sure that you stay at the top, right? 125 to 250 transactions, as long as you're doing that amount, you're up there as number one with me, right? I'm okay losing the number one seed to Rodriguez Lending, Mata Lending, Heredia Lending, right? Because I know all of us at that top 10, top 12, that's what I'm committed to, right? 10 lenders, right? Plus Home First. Staying in that top position. That's 2,500 people we can help, at least. And then we take it from there, right? We take it from there. Yeah. 250 people deserve, right, at least a legitimate shot, a commitment that's going to be delivered, right? And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking to do. That's the plan. That's the plan.